Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 uses for oregano essential oil. If you want to learn the do's and don'ts with oregano, then keep watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm Teresa and I am excited to talk about oregano today. I think I say that about every oil. I think a lot of people are already familiar with oregano because it is a really popular cooking ingredient, but that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to share with you 10 ways oregano can support your body. And I think sometimes people may be a little nervous to use oregano because it's considered a hot oil. What do I mean by hot? It means that when you put it on your skin neat means all by itself with nothing else. If you're using a high quality oregano and you use it neat, your skin is very likely going to be sensitive to it. For most people, this is the case, so it's always best to dilute it with coconut oil so you don't cause any discomfort on your skin. This is a great oil to use on the bottoms of your feet because your skin there is less sensitive. Let's talk for just a minute about carrier oils. For those of you who don't know what that is, a lot of people will say that a carrier oil is simply a way to dilute the essential oil. That's actually not quite true because the carrier oil does not really dilute it. The essential oil is just as potent, but it does soothe the essential oil, which can be very important when you're talking about a hot oil like this. My favorite carrier oil is doTERRA's coconut oil because it's fractionated, which means it's liquid at room temperature, so it's easier to use with the essential oils, but it is still 100% pure, which most fractionated coconut oils are not. What doTERRA has done is they've taken the molecular structure of the coconut oil and pulled some of those molecules apart so that at room temperature it will be liquid. Usually 100% pure coconut oil will be goopy at room temperature, kind of like a soft bar of soap that's been soaking in water. So doTERRA doesn't add anything and they don't take anything away from their coconut oil. A few other popular carrier oils are almond oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, and you can actually use regular cooking vegetable oil. I like people to know this because a lot of times people might get an essential oil in their eye or somewhere and then they can't remember exactly where their coconut oil is, but everybody knows where their cooking oil is. Just grab your olive oil or your vegetable oil and you can literally rub a few drops right in your eye, which I promise you will want to do if you get oregano in your eye. A good measurement for a hot oil is to use twice as many drops of the carrier oil as you use for the essential oil. So for example, if you use 3 drops of oregano, add 6 drops of coconut oil. But on the bottoms of the feet, I can just put the oregano straight, and for most people that works. But carefully test it out for yourself so you can be sure what is comfortable for you. And of course, you can always add more of the carrier oil if you want. Okay, here we go. My top 10 ways to use oregano oil. Number 1, cleaning. Oregano is a natural at getting rid of unwanted microorganisms. In fact, it's probably one of the best. So this is an oil that you can use on surfaces in your home. Hard surfaces are good, or in the air. To use the oil in your home, just mix it in a spray bottle with some water, spray it on clear surfaces. Make sure you shake the bottle before each use since the oil will separate from the water while it sits. But because the oil has a little bit of color to it, make sure you test the surface first to make sure it won't discolor it. To use the oil on your hands to keep away those unwanted microorganisms, mix 10 drops of it with 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and then use as much or as little as you want. Remember that this is a hot oil, so it's important that you mix it with a carrier oil before you use it. Number 2, supporting clear sinuses. This is great, especially in the winter when it seems like everybody starts getting that itchy, bothersome feeling in their nose. There are a few ways to do this. One way is to diffuse it in your home. That's easy. Leave the diffuser in a room that you're frequently in and you'll be able to breathe the oil in all day. I like to mix it with another oil or two so the smell is nicer for me because I don't necessarily want my home smelling like a too strong pizza. This is also great for guests that visit your home. Another way is to put a few drops of the oil into a pot of boiling water and slowly inhale the steam, but be so careful not to get burned. Don't put your face directly over the pot because that can be too hot. Even if the water is not too hot, the steam from the hot oregano oil can be too much. So keep your face far enough away from the steam so you can figure out how close works for you, and then you'll get the hang of it. One more way to utilize this oil for sinus support is to just mix a drop with a little bit of coconut oil and rub it right under your nose. But again, make sure you use enough coconut oil. You can continue to breathe it in all day and it'll rub into your skin so you don't look like your nose is running. Number 3, dry skin. You may not have known this. You can use oregano on your hands, on your scalp, or really any other part of your body. How you use the oil will depend on where you use the oil. To use oregano on your scalp, you can mix a few drops with your shampoo and then it's ready to go. You could also mix it with a carrier oil and then rub it on your scalp a few minutes before you shower. But realize, and I will keep saying this, oregano is hot and water makes it feel hotter. The reason is because oil and water don't mix, as you know. So if you have oil on your skin and then you apply water, they repel each other, and that repelling action pushes the essential oil deeper. So make sure you use enough coconut oil. And as you're getting the hang of oregano, just use a very little bit until you figure out the amount that's comfortable for the use you're choosing. You can also mix oregano oil with your lotion. After your shower, mix a few drops with your moisturizer and use the lotion where you normally would. If you have a more annoying or chronic patch of dry skin, try diluting the oil a little less and applying it right to the problem area. And here's an extra tip. If you have those small, rough, hard growths on your skin that have those little black seeds inside, we often like to get them frozen or burned off, but oregano is great for those. Just apply a tiny bit to your finger, touch it right to the rough spot, do that about 4 times a day, and it works even better if you add On Guard to it. Number 4, bugs. Bugs generally do not like oregano, and it's so easy to use. Just mix some oil in a spray bottle with some water, spray it all over your body and clothing. You can also mix this oil with a carrier oil and rub it directly on your skin. Be sure to use enough carrier oil though, because again, this is a hot oil. So if you use that spray for your body, add coconut oil to it, add coconut oil after or before, whatever works. That spray is really great to use if you're moving into a new rental when they have, existing beds there for you. I would spray that all over my mattress along with peppermint. Let it dry really well and then proceed to move in. Number 5, skin blemishes. Dip a Q-tip in the oregano oil and apply it directly to the blemish. Make sure you only get it on the blemish though. This is probably best to use morning and night right after you've washed your face. This is a great one for your teenagers too, if they're finding they have blemishes that just won't go away. If they try the Q-tip and it feels like it's still too hot for them, just have them add coconut oil to the spot right after application. And don't worry, the coconut oil will not exacerbate the blemishes. Coconut oil is actually very good for your skin, so the combo is really great. I have to throw this in there, awesome skin combo for blemishes. Oregano used separately the way I just described, Melaleuca, Purify, and Geranium. Your teenagers will love you. Number 6, bad breath. This isn't to say that oregano will leave your breath smelling minty fresh, but it will help support your body and your toothpaste to get rid of those unwanted microorganisms that can make breath smell unpleasant. Number 7, supports a slowing of oxidation. The more we can slow down oxidation in our bodies, the better it is for you. You know when you leave a bike out in the rain and it begins to rust, or when you cut an apple open and it starts to turn brown? That's because of oxidation. I'm going to get just a little bit scientific here to help you understand what oxidation is. Basically, the oxidation process is the process of oxygen combustion, which takes place in each cell of our body. It produces energy, it builds proteins, but just like any factory, in the process of production and extraction, there are byproducts, mainly free radicals. The free radicals are molecules that play important roles in our bodies and on our skin. They kill bacteria and they form connections between collagen fibers in your skin. But on the other hand, these molecules have a big disadvantage. They're not stable and they're overactive. So these molecules have an extra electron, which they try to constantly get rid of. And they do this by looking for the closest molecule they can attach to. The problem is that they can end up connecting to vital and sensitive molecules like proteins or fats or other tissues. And even it will attach to our genetic material, our DNA. As soon as they connect to another molecule, the free radicals attack and cause damage. And in addition to that, they turn this molecule into a free radical, which in turn harms other molecules. So you can see how this starts to create an infinite chain reaction, which if you don't stop it right at the beginning, it can cause damage that builds up and becomes exponential. This can include all kinds of things like a mutated cell. It can mess up the structure or function of your health and premature aging. That is what oxidation does. Your cells basically undergo a chemical change, and oregano helps support the slowing of that process. So it's really good for you. If you don't want to smell like oregano, just put a few drops in a capsule and swallow it. And I like to do that with food because it's more gentle on my stomach. Number 8, immune support. Oregano is a great tool for overall immune support. Like I mentioned earlier, oregano is great for unwanted microorganisms, and our bodies are constantly fighting to keep a healthy balance of the microorganisms that we want and the ones we don't. Something as simple as touching a doorknob can expose our bodies to microorganisms that we are not used to, and oregano is a great tool to support positive immune response. Diffuse oregano in your home or dilute it and rub it on your feet each night before bed, and remember, mix it with other oils to come up with a smell that you like. Number 9, muscle discomfort. Whether this is a result of using a muscle too much or a sensation you've experienced for several years, oregano can be extremely comforting to your joints and your muscles. But remember, it's hot. Apply the diluted oil. You definitely want to dilute it. Apply it directly to the area of discomfort in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed. Number 10, uterine contractions for that time of the month. Ladies, this is a huge one for some of you. This is one you can use preemptively when you know it's right around the corner. Rub the diluted oil right on your lower abdomen or lower back and take it easy. If your skin is too sensitive, even with the coconut oil, just apply it to the bottoms of your feet. If you're ever not sure, always go to the bottoms of the feet. Oregano is a fun one, and if you've been hesitant to use it in the past, I hope this gets you excited to take advantage of all the ways you can use oregano. Thanks you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you think the training will help somebody else, pass it on to them. If there's an oil you want to know more about, let me know in the comments and I will make a video. And also, if you have your own tips and tricks for using oregano oil, please, you know what I'm going to say, put them in the comments below, because your comments are so helpful to me and to the other viewers. Lots of other people can benefit from what you know about oregano oil. And don't forget to use compliant language, because that's required by the FDA. I tell you guys every time, don't let that scare you away from adding your comments. Just use words like soothes, supports, aids. Don't make claims like it'll cure or it'll fix it. And don't use the names of specific health issues. Instead, just describe it using the symptoms. If you want to see other videos on essential oils, health, building your business, my other videos will be to the side if you want to check them out. And if you want to know when my new videos come out, subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I keep you notified there. If you're interested in trying essential oils and somebody's been helping you out with that, reach out to them. They are going to be the best at helping you with what you need. If you haven't had anyone helping you or working with you and you want to try the oils, or you're interested in checking out the business, I would love to help you. Click on the link I've given you below. You can get your first oils that will pop up for me, and I'll contact you right away. And before I let you go, I want to tell you, do not underestimate yourself. You are unusually unique and special. You bring things to the table that nobody else can bring. Nobody else can create the exact same influence as you. Embrace yourself and the impact that you can have on the lives of other people. That influence is powerful. It can create, and it's real. Don't you forget that. Okay, see you soon. Bye, you guys.